Something ancient is moving. Not in the headlines. Not in the noise of the age. But in the sky, in the deep, grinding machinery of the cosmos. A red planet crosses a threshold. Mars enters Taurus. The bull wakes. And the earth remembers an old truth. Force without roots is only fury. Power without patience is only ruin. The sky is not asking, "How fast can you move?" It is asking, "What are you willing to build? What will you defend?" A very low, ancient hum rises beneath the world. The blade meets the earth. The season of endurance begins. Mars, the red wanderer, the blacksmith, the storm front before the rain. Pure will, pure fire, pure forward motion. In Aries, he is the ignition, the spark, the charge, and the arrow loose before breath. But on the solstice, the hinge of the year, Mars steps into Taurus. And everything changes. Taurus is fixed earth. Ancient earth. The earth that holds the roots of mountains. In the oldest sky stories, Taurus was the bull who pulled the plow through the dark field before creation, turning chaos into soil. Soil into seed. Seed into civilization. Now the warrior walks into that field. Action enters the realm of endurance. Fire is absorbed by earth. Impulse becomes resolve. This is not a small celestial footnote. This is a shift in the architecture of reality. We stand at a threshold. It does not shout. It hums. Old patterns thin. The cult of speed weakens. The reflex to rush meets invisible resistance. Cracks widen in what was built too fast. On shallow soil. On borrowed time. Something slower rises. Heavier. Older. An era of endurance begins to assert itself. Substance over spectacle. Roots over fireworks. The bull waits. Reads the ground. And when it moves, it does not stop. This is not revolution by explosion. This is reconstruction by persistence. The old world dissolves. The new world forms. Not in fire, but in pressure. Taurus rules value. What is real? What can be held? Stored. Eaten. Protected. With Mars here, resources become urgent, not abstract. Immediate. What do we truly have? What can we lose? What must we protect? Fast money is tested. Inflated stories deflate. Soil and water speak louder than markets. This is not fear. This is survival wisdom. Mars in Taurus fortifies. Not to conquer, to hold. Walls rise. Boundaries harden. Homes, lands, and essentials become sacred ground. The question beneath everything: what will keep us standing when pressure comes? Mars likes speed. Taurus does not. When they meet, the global engine changes sound. Timelines stretch. Projects delay. Systems built only for faster begin to stall. This is not punishment. It is discipline. The cosmos asks, where are you going in such a hurry? And is the road beneath you strong enough? Taurus is fixed, immovable. Mars electrifies that fixedness. Positions harden. Compromise thins. But stubbornness has a sacred face. The holy no. Across lands and cultures, people quietly decide, we will not give this up. Not this land. Not this water. Not this dignity. Taurus does not outfight. Taurus outlasts. Taurus rules the harvest. Work done well. Over time, Mars here asks, how is wealth actually made? Not traded in a flash. Not gamed on a screen. Made by hands, by craft, by soil. A longing for the tangible rises. A suspicion of the purely digital grows. Mars whispers to every builder, maker, grower. Make something real. History does not repeat, but it rhymes. In past Mars in Taurus cycles, especially in times of strain, the world pulled back from the edge. Expansion paused. Consolidation began. Empires turned from conquest to defense. Walls instead of new roads. Fields instead of voyages. Great agricultural shifts began quietly, with a single seed pressed into the dark. We are in one of those rhyming moments now. The verse is familiar. The melody returns. The direction is clear. Consequent season. What was built on speed alone will be tested. What was built on image alone will crack. What was built on debt and bluster will be asked to account for itself. But what was built slowly with care, with structure, with respect for limits, that begins to prove itself. This is not the time for fireworks. This is the time for the flame that lasts. The hearth fire, the steady burn through a long night. The world is not ending. The world is tightening, checking its roots, preparing for what needs us to be more solid than before. The sky is speaking. in its old language. Slow, vast, patient. Mars crosses into the field of the bull. The solstice turns the great wheel. Something subtle shifts, like the first crack in winter ice. Not a warning of spring, a proof that it has already begun. What you build now will carry the weight of what comes next. What you choose to hold in your hands and in your heart is what will remain after this season passes. The bull does not race. The bull endures. And in that endurance, in the quiet, stubborn act of staying, caring, repairing, guarding, there is a power no brief blaze has ever matched. The sky is speaking. It is asking, what are you made of? And in the slow turning of the stars, it is listening for your answer.